Hey everybody,
Hey.
we are Soulful Conversations. I had to write it down because I keep forgetting it.
Oh.
Okay, tonight we're going to dive into the powerful, important topic of how to recognize the difference between a trauma bond and real healthy love.
Ooh.
They can feel eerily similar, but knowing the difference can change your life.
Yes.
So let's break it down together.
Break it down.
Let's do it. I'm Cricket. That's Missy.
Welcome back. How many followers do we have now? We still have like.
I just look at the
8.
I just look at the view
Okay,
count.
so we need followers so that we can go live and then we can talk about these things. But we love it that you guys are watching. We got great views on our last one. Thank you. And likes. Yes. And some shares.
Yeah.
So, yep, keep it up, guys, and then start with the comments. Bring us some comments. Let us know how we're doing, what you want to hear more of. So, yeah, let's get into it. Woohoo!
Heck yeah. And we like interacting with people because then we can give y'all some shout outs.
That's right.
Because I know y'all like that. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, trauma bonding.
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
And when I first dove into it, I thought it was something else. Like,
Okay.
I got quite the education doing the research for this.
Okay.
But what we're going to talk about tonight, and we're going to break it down into several videos,
Yeah.
are the 7 stages of a trauma bonded relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Stage number 1, the one that we all love,
Of course.
love bombing.
Oh, Lord.
Yep, compliments, respect, compassion.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
Yes.
It can feel healthy, but it also includes future faking,
Oh.
and crossing boundaries in the name of love.
Yeah.
Oh, I just love you so much I couldn't help myself.
Yeah.
And I have noticed lately, people kind of really get sucked into the future faking.
Yeah.
Talking about kids and family, and y'all have only been dating a month. Like,
Yeah.
That's-
Sometimes at that even.
yeah,
Because sometimes the love bombing starts right away.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And it feels good.
It
Like,
does.
it's easy to understand how we get sucked into, because we've been sucked into it. We're
Yeah,
not.
We're speaking from some experience here.
Absolutely. And when you come out of a bad relationship or out of a bad home, it feels good to have someone dote on you like that.
Yeah.
So when those people are like, well, I don't know why you even got in a relationship with them in the first place. Ooh, I want to strangle them. It's because they make you feel good.
Yeah.
And you yearned for that so much. You just eat it up.
Yeah.
And then number 2,
Mm-hmm.
trusted dependency.
Yeah. Oh.
They do everything they can to get you to trust them.
Yep.
And depend on them for validation.
Yeah.
That encourages isolation because then you feel like you don't need anybody else. All you need is them.
Yep.
Yep. Nobody else.
Yep.
And hello, codependency.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
In my situation, I came from a narcissistic cult home thing. So I don't know the difference. I didn't realize I left a narcissistic mama and married into a whole stinking narcissistic family.
Yeah.
Because he was a mama's boy and they lived next door. So I married the family, not him.
Yeah.
But you think, I don't need anybody. He's everything. He fulfills all of my
All of
wishes.
my needs, my wants, my fears, he fulfills them all.
Yeah.
But it's a to me it's a game.
It is.
See how quickly I can get you attached, because that's the abusive part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you get into a good phase where he shows you a good side, that's when the bond begins.
Yep. The next phase, criticism.
Yeah.
Once they get you attached to them and you
Yep.
trust them and you're isolated and you don't need anybody but them,
Mm-hmm.
then they start to criticize.
Yeah.
Slowly at first.
Yeah.
And then they start blaming you for things that happen, whether they're real or imagined.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it's those slow steps into just sucking you in
Mm-hmm.
and making you feel crazy.
Yeah.
But the first stages were so good,
Mm-hmm.
you don't mind taking the blame. That's whether I did it or not, I'm sorry, because then
No, I
I
know.
want to get back to that good feeling.
Yep. And then, yeah.
You are not saying much at all.
I got so much going inside my head right now. Like every one of those things, like bam, hits. And,
Yeah.
I mean, I could talk about it all night.
Okay.
But from a more healed vantage point, thankfully at this moment.
Right.
But yeah.
Okay. After that starts, and they can tell they got you,
Mm-hmm.
that's when the manipulation starts, the gaslighting.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're blaming you, they control the narrative, and they get you to believe their version of things.
Yeah.
Because you still think they're the person that they were in the beginning.
Yeah. And it took me a really deep meditation to get into that area to find out where the first moment was that I fell in love.
Mm-hmm.
That version of them that I did fall in love with. And I had to go back to that moment through meditation for healing purposes to release that.
Yeah.
Because once I released that part of it, then the rest was easier to follow through with.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Stage 5, you give up control.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
You no longer know what to believe. The only way to experience the good feelings of stage 1 is by giving in.
Yeah.
And doing whatever they want.
So like my reaction to this is every exact stage that you're talking about. I know the moment that I fell deeper into it.
Mm-hmm. And what gets me is, because my thing is, once you get to that point, you know you're in a crappy relationship. Like, you might not know this is what's going on, but you know it's not healthy.
Yeah.
And then you've got people coming from outside. Well, I don't know why you always wind up with people like that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't start out like that.
No.
You think if they come in on stage 5, I'm gonna be like, there's my man. No, that's not, they don't, they
No,
suck
it
you in
doesn't.
first.
Yes, exactly. It doesn't work like that.
Right?
Whew, yeah.
Okay, stage 6. Wait. Yes, you lose yourself.
Yeah.
When you fight back, things get worse.
Mm-hmm.
So you settle for anything to have peace.
Yep.
And you begin to lose all of your confidence.
Yep.
Because it's easier to cave.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I'm not going to bring that up because that'll start a fight. Or anything to keep the peace.
Yeah. Yeah.
Number 7.
Hmm.
The final stage.
Yeah.
Addiction to the cycle.
Yep.
You live in this stress environment. That's your cortisol.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows that by now.
Yep.
So you're desperate for dopamine because you're stuck in fight, flight, freeze, fawn, like constantly.
Yeah.
This is what creates the addiction. So this is why people in those types of relationships do things that they would never ever do, because they're desperate for anything to make them feel good.
Yeah.
They need to feel good. Like it's not even a want at that point.
No, because
Um,
you're so depleted that
Yeah.
you're grasping at anything
Anything.
to help you. To
Yep.
bring me up, please.
Yep.
And I can remember begging Spirit for help because I was so depleted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember this one time. This one time in band camp. We had gotten into an argument, right? And I was the strong one. I didn't believe in love and whatever. It had been a hard couple of days. I was pregnant, so hormones.
Yeah.
I left him on the computer to play his freaking video games, and I'm in the room and I'm sitting on the bed and I'm rocking and I'm crying. It's like I need help. You know, I'm just He walks past the bedroom and looks in, and he sees me in that state, and he's like, "I thought you said you weren't an emotional person."
Yeah.
What do you say to that? I
know
wasn't.
what I would
I
want to say
wasn't.
now, but
Like, did
at that time,
you made me this way?
yeah.
And see, the thing, what's so dangerous about it is that this is the stage where people get drug addictions
Mm-hmm.
because they're so desperate to feel good, or in most cases, not feel.
Not feel is more.
It's better than feeling how you've been feeling.
Yeah.
So these relationships are extremely dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially for some, some people don't quite recognize.
Right.
They know there's something off, or even just an example, just getting to know someone and you see the red flags, but you're so desperate for companionship,
Mm-hmm.
or like you said, the feel goods to come, and so you're willing to do anything
Right.
to be in that relationship until and then when you're sucked in because they're saying and doing all the right things. But for me, it was a state I was in before I got into that relationship that was already depleted. Like I was already not in a good frame of mind.
Right.
And I saw like a light at the end of the tunnel. And there was a part of him that I fell in love with, but that part became so overshadowed by everything else.
Right.
And yeah, it's really it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it is. And when you come from a traumatic childhood,
Mm-hmm.
this is what you recognize love to be, because this is all you know.
Exactly.
And so there's no red flag. This is how mama loved me. This is how daddy loved me. Like,
This is how
this is what it is.
Yeah.
You don't know any different.
Yeah.
Disclaimer.
Yes.
You want to make sure you're not the one bringing the trauma into the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So if these things sound like something that you do, you need to seek help. Like you need professional help for this.
Yeah. Yeah. And most of the time, the person that is on the giving end of the, and not to say, because I'm not innocent as far as, I was already like, I don't want to say damaged, but there was already some baggage, that's what we'll say, that came with it that just collided. I mean, for me, this was like a twin flame situation, and the ultimate gift I was given by Spirit was the ability to love myself.
Mm-hmm.
And take care of myself, and that's the important part. But also I want to say, again, we don't give medical advice, we don't give psychological. This is all based off of our experience and research that we did that, well, Cricket, she's so good at this, that, yeah, that's all I want to say. We're not telling you anything.
Right.
So
You want to get into it?
Yeah, well, let's get into it. Let's talk about.
Okay. 4 signs that you're not in love, you're trauma bonded. Can you read my writing?
Mm-hmm.
You want to do something?
Yeah. So you justify their behaviors. Ooh, you would do anything to get them back. You gaslight yourself into making excuses for them, even to the point of blaming yourself for them always abusing you. You seek comfort from the same person that hurt you. So, yeah, I mean,
How many times have you done
oh,
that? More times than I can count for
well,
myself.
I would say more times defending the behavior or defending something about the relationship
Mhm.
more times than I didn't have to.
Yeah.
But why? Like,
I feel like a lot of it, because same,
yeah,
a lot of it is based in shame, because I didn't want to admit I was with such an asshole. And then because you have that freaking attachment to them and you love them and you can't live without them, I don't want anybody to think bad of them. So if they did see the bruises or whatever, you explain it away because you don't want anybody to look at them poorly.
Yep.
So you're willing to make yourself look like an idiot
mm-hmm.
to defend them, even though nobody's believing what you tell them.
Oh, I know, because that's what we talked before about. I was thankful that I had a good support system and someone that would say, hey, the one person I have in mind, she would call me out on my BS, like and then there's another person that'd be like, when is it going to end? When are you going to end this? Because we're not leaving you behind. We're staying with you no matter what, but we hope soon you figure it out and realize that you are worth more than that.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, like I was saying earlier, I'm not, it took both of us.
Right.
And I think what happened, like what I said earlier, the twin flame is we kind of mirrored each other. There was a different kind of abuse that happened, or not, I wasn't abused, but like lack of. So we bonded that way through the trauma, which is not what that's not the definition of, but what? Say it. What?
You're still defending. You were abused.
Well, yeah, no, I know that I was abused.
But you just said there wasn't abuse or anything.
No, I meant from growing up.
Oh, okay.
When I was growing up,
Okay.
there was nothing there. So it's more, for me, an abandonment instead of the trauma.
Mhm.
And I will say, like when we were good, we were good. But when we weren't good, we were bad. And it was usually when we were suffering from a trigger that created a trauma. So no, it was definitely an abusive relationship, and I don't even want to. I want to say it was a lesson more than anything, because it was part of my path, and I needed to do that to find this. So I mean, but I just don't want, like, I don't want to be the basher of bashing and bashing and bashing.
Right.
Because it does. I didn't have to stay. He didn't have to stay. So we made choices, and in the end, I had to ultimately choose me over.
Right.
Because when you go back to that, I know we're kind of backtracking, but like the love bombing.
Right. And that's what people don't understand. It's like, when are you going to get out of it? We're waiting for you to get out of it.
Yeah.
As bad as the bads are, the goods are equally good. Like, that passion runs both ways.
Yeah.
And so the goods are amazing.
And then if there's a physical attraction that goes along with that as well.
Oh, yeah.
Holy God.
Yeah.
So, but like the trusted dependency,
Mm-hmm.
what was there was a couple of the manipulation and gaslighting, the criticism, those things happen probably within the first month.
Wow.
a long relationship.
Yeah.
And I did see red flags, but I thought, well, you know, maybe I'll just see what happens, or this and this, and I don't have, yeah. But then okay, I'm sorry.
You're good. Okay. Number 2, you have the same fight over and over again. There's never any resolution because they have no intention of actually changing. You live in hope, not reality. You hide your needs and feelings because you're scared of how they'll interpret and invalidate your feelings.
Yeah.
They convince you that you're the problem, which makes you emotional, and then that is their proof that you're see, look at you, you're emotional, you're irrational,
Yeah.
I can't talk to you, you always do this.
Yo, go do this to someone else.
Yeah.
Oh, that one hit hard.
Yeah, and looking back in those, every single one of my relationships, that was the thing. Like, why do we keep having the same fight over and over again?
Yeah. And it was because, you know, somebody in the situation didn't take accountability for their actions, and of course that they don't do that because,
well, I have
in
noticed,
a healthy relationship they would, but
right, and I see people now that I care about, and I'm privy to their private stuff. A lot of times it's like there's fighting just for fighting's sake. Birthdays, Christmas, special occasions. I cannot, with one husband in particular, there was not one single special day that maybe things were real good at the start of the day, but then it never failed.
never.
At the very least, on our way to the event, there was a fight.
Or some kind of explosion.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, because I learned to quit fighting. Like,
But you don't even
You just
do
sit there
anything.
and
They
take
just
it.
sit there and fight at you if you don't respond.
and you just take it.
And then you're miserable the whole holiday.
Yeah. Oh,
Or
but
whatever.
But the thing is, you're going to someone's house,
And
so you have to put on that happy face and squash and tamper down everything that they just put you through. And do they not know it? Like,
They do it on
that's what
purpose.
pisses me off. Like,
They do it on purpose because when you are your kids' birthday or Christmas, the attention, if you have kids, the attention is on the kids. Because that's what the holidays are for, you know.
Yep.
So they can't have the attention not on them. Like So if they know that you're messed up and you're stuck fretting over the fight you just had, it makes them happy that you're not happy. They know that you're constantly thinking about them during this whatever.
Yeah.
And so the fight, it's a fight just for a fight, just to have you off your game and thinking about
Control.
them and not enjoying yourself.
Yeah. Controlling.
Yep.
Okay. Woo.
I hear this one quite a lot, and I've actually thought about my relationships, and I'm like, oh shit.
You never have a great reason to stay.
Mm-hmm.
You can't pinpoint what you love about them. When asked why you haven't left yet, you get defensive and say things like, no one understands, or there's just something about him. You've convinced yourself it's a magical connection.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My soulmate. We're just so in tune.
You don't get it. They just get me so much.
I know.
Like they understand me.
Reading thoughts.
Yeah.
Connecting through, but that's what made it a twin flame, because there is a soul connection, but it's not we've talked about the soul connections before.
Right.
It's a lesson connection. And what was it you said about, instead of a soul mate, it's a soul connection?
Yeah.
Contract.
Yeah.
A soul contract.
People confuse soul connections with soul assignments.
Oh, okay, that's
Just because someone fits the shape of your wounds doesn't mean that they're meant to stay.
yeah.
Some people don't enter your lives to grow roots. They come to trigger the digging.
So
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, I didn't mean to jump so far ahead because we may have to do another video and
Right?
yeah, this is a pretty big topic.
It is, yeah.
Okay, let me see what do you got?
Number 4, you've become a ride or die. And to me,
Oh.
this is why it's so hard to break free in my experience.
Yeah.
You're the friend, you're the lover, you're the assistant with work. You try to mold yourself to be and look the way they want you to
Mm-hmm.
in hopes that they'll love you more.
Mm-hmm.
But this is unsustainable.
Yeah.
Because no one can be everything to someone. And their minds are always changing. So I've done everything I can to be another you.
Yeah.
And you're still not happy with me. I've made every change in my speech, behavior, the way I dress, the way I take care of myself.
Yeah.
Because that's what you said you wanted. And you're still not happy with me. You're actually more unhappy with me now than you were before.
Yeah. And then too, on the other hand, is you become what you think. I don't want to say not irreplaceable, but you involve or put yourself in situations that are so. How do you? What am
No,
I
but they
trying to
make you
say?
feel that way.
Well,
like,
no, but because I can't.
you have to do
like
this.
The personal assistant.
yeah,
And
because I
did
can't do it without
all of
you.
this, but the reason I did all of that is because I wanted to be as much to them as possible.
Right.
I strived to be everything,
yeah.
and it still wasn't enough.
Right.
You know, and that, you know, then comes the guilt because I did go, I stopped it, I left, I, you know, created I discovered who I was.
Mm-hmm.
And the guilt, when I look back, when I looked back, I don't look back now because that was not my, it was just the connection.
Right.
But I chose me, and like when I was, I don't want to say contemplating, but at first, then I'm like, oh my God, I made such a mess. You know, this has got to be taken care of, and this has got to be taken care of, and this
Who's
has got
going
to
to take care of that? They don't know how to.
and then
Mhm.
exactly, but something had to give.
Right.
And I chose me, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. But you're having to start off at less than scratch.
Yeah.
When you leave.
Yeah.
Because there's no you left.
No, that there's a void, the black hole, because it's you're so gone.
Right.
And when you know at that when you talked about like when you're losing yourself and you give up control, like I remember a time where it was like I never trusted anybody in my whole life. Like everybody I thought I trusted, or there were times when I trusted people that were really important to me, they let me down. And so it wasn't built in me.
Right.
Part of the lessons in the relationship that I learned, one of them was to trust 100%.
Mm-hmm.
That they were going to take care of whatever it was that needed taken care of. They had our best interest at heart,
Mm-hmm.
which that didn't happen. But in that situation, the lesson I learned from it was, one, Spirit's always got my back.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was under a lot of protection at that time. So, but I actually can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as a healed, I will do that with the right person.
Right.
And I will listen to the red flags, and I'll listen to myself and not make that mistake again.
Right.
Or just stay single. I mean, I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm not,
there's nothing wrong with that either.
yeah, I'm good.
Okay, so this seems like a good spot to
Oh,
stop,
okay. Yeah.
and we'll do part 2 over on the Tube of the Use.
Yes, yes.
So head on over there if you want to see what you need to break a trauma bond
Yes.
and how to heal it.
Yes.
So catch you on the
See
flip
you
side.
later.